You're welcome to another episode on the newspaper review for today, being the 23rd day of October 2025. I am a chairman, Prosper, and I have here with me a beautiful political analyst, Ms. Chidinma. Ms. Chidinma, how are you doing?
I'm very fine, thank you. And how are you today?
I'm good, ma'am. Ms. Chidinma, we know this morning it's been raining from the early hours of this morning and up till now. Some of us had to come to work under the rain. So how did you see it when you woke up this morning saying that it was raining?
Listen, the weather, like you said, it's very blissful, and the fact that it's just started falling this morning, it's actually made it dull for me to go to work. But at the end of the day, I just have to, show up and do anything for the bag.
All right, that's good. Let's get into the business of the day, and that's the newspaper review. The first on the list, Vanguard. Our campaign, a divine project, mass movement, Soludo. This will be seen in page 27. ISWAP, terror threat. Ondo, Kogi government reassures citizens of safety. This will be seen in page 5. Insecurity, defend yourselves. Governor Bago charges Niger residents. Vows never to negotiate or pay ransom to bandits. This will be seen in page 6. State complicity, fueling religious killing in Nigeria, faith leaders. This will be seen in page 8. Aliko Dangote to sell 10% stake in the refinery on Nigeria. This will be seen in page 19. ASU suspends warning strike, gives FG 1 month ultimatum. This will be seen in page 9. Electoral Act. Burden of proof in election matters must shift to INEC, Senate. This will be seen in page 9. Ms. Chidinma, in one of the headlines, we can see the governor of Niger State, by name Governor Bago, where he has told the citizens of the state, or should I say the residents of the state, that they should defend themselves against terrorist attack. So what is your opinion on this one?
Him asking them to protect themselves, is it with plastic spoon, or is it with toner that they make use to do Gary? Because I don't understand what happened to the security personnel in the states. I mean, telling them that he will not negotiate with any bandits, he will not negotiate with any kidnapper. Talking of kidnappers, a girl was recently kidnapped at gunpoint from school.
Wow.
So is she supposed to protect herself at that point? What happened to the security men? I mean, most of them are always on patrol. What happened to them? Okay, now she's kidnapped. He said like the governor said, he will not be negotiating. So that means that child is left on her own. Okay, yes, some states actually have, the fact that they said as a citizen, you're not supposed to have license gun in your custody. So as a governor, you're supposed to have other forms of security for them. I mean, there are vigilantes in the states. Many states have vigilantes. So him telling them that they should protect themselves, it's like telling them, okay, hands off, anything that happens to you, and which is not the right thing as a governor of a state to say to people that believe in you, people that elected you, people that made sure that you became their governor. And I mean, I'm very sure that when he was campaigning for governorship, he would have told them, I will give you security at the utmost. I'm going to make sure that not even a scratch will be on your skin. And now he's now the governor, and you're telling them that they should that all hands on deck. If they kidnap you, that is a problem with them. That's like the worst thing a governor should tell his citizens.
All right, thank you about the analysis. One question is, let's ask the governor of Niger State this question. The day he was sworn into office, he swore to protect the lives and properties of the people of Niger State. And at this point, he has failed in that duty.
Obviously.
Yes, you should consider, because he has failed in that duty of protecting life and properties of the people of his state. Thank you about that, Ms. Chidinma.
You're welcome.
Over to the next newspaper. Daily Sun. Nnamdi Kanu Bokos set to open defense. Holds private meeting with legal team in courtroom ahead of defense. This will be seen in page 4. Rep vows to recover unremitted $850 billion crude oil export proceeds. This will be seen in page 9. Election petitions. Senate now wants INEC to prove no rigging. This will be seen in page 6. Dangote reduces stake in refinery business to 65%. Plans to listing on NGX. This will be seen in page 6. Reasons we suspended 2 weeks warning strike. ASU. This will be seen in page 27. Osun 2026. PDP APC trade accusations over unabating violence. This will be seen in page 26. Over to you, Ms. Chidima. One of the big headlines in this newspaper, we can see the Senate now wanting INEC to prove a no-rigging state after elections in this country. So what's your take on this, ma'am?
Before I go into the question you asked, I want to talk about this Nnamdi Kanu case. I mean, I was listening to the news today and I found out that he has told the court that some of the witnesses that will be coming are persons of Wike and some other governors, Uzodinma, and all of them.
Yes.
I actually want to see how this particular case is going to end. I mean, bringing in most of our past governors, most of the politicians, and I'm not sure if they actually know they will be actually coming to court tomorrow.
Some of them will be notified. Because,
and the fact that he's calling them, I really want to know what exactly they have as witnesses for him. But back to the conversation we're having in respect to the election.
Yes.
Honestly, like I said yesterday, the Senate they've been giving me this mind-blowing excitement. I mean, yesterday they talked about the consequences and the sentencing for rape, and then today again they're talking about the election plans. I mean, the new because it's still on the second reading, rather, the new law they are set to bring out, it not only helps in the financing of this election, that is the cash flow, it helps with time. I mean, the case of them saying that they want both the presidential, the governorship, the local government, all the elections to be done on the same day, and then also talking about the fact that if anybody has issues with the judgment, the person that maybe they say wins the election, and then they'll have to have the court case before they swear in, because imagine swearing in someone and the next thing they come and tell you that no, this person did not win, and start going to court back and forth. That also causes more cash to be spent on court cases, and not just court cases. It leaves that particular state bare until they have a governor, and that period of time, I mean, many things can actually go wrong. And also the fact where they have they made it clear to INEC that they want a free and fair election where there is law during the election and security tightening during the election. I mean, all this, if they can actually bring this law to this law to be, I think it's going to really help us when it comes to our elections. And also the part where they said and also the part where they made mention of the database, where after the election, if they can hand the database, so that when somebody wants to take them to court, they don't have to bring a different result to them, so they can actually hand over that particular result and say, okay, this is what INEC said they actually gave as their result. I mean, all this is a very good one the Senate has actually brought that. I'm very, very, very happy for this particular one.
Thank you about that, Ms. Chidima. But on my own part, I'll tell you that this issue, let's be frank about this issue might just be favoring some particular set of persons. Because imagine, let's just say the truth, we cannot say that the elections are not going to be rigged. Because imagine when INEC brings a particular result to the Senate and they say this is the result, and somebody goes to get the actual results which were snapped in the different polling units, but INEC presents another result. That is the issue most times we experience in the law courts these days. Because when somebody goes to the polling unit, maybe when their representatives in different polling units got pictures of different, like the results that were gotten at polling units, but the one INEC is presenting is a different case. At this point, that is the issue now. So the Senate now are just trying, allegedly, let's just say, they are allegedly trying to tighten up their plans. Yeah, they are trying to tighten up the plans in the sense that if INEC presents this result, they'll say, okay, look at what INEC presented us with. According to that, it's just like you are just trying to say, oh yeah, as I have rigged this election now, this is what the result me and INEC agreed on. So INEC has presented this to the Senate, and at this point now, nobody else can contest about it.
Can I come in here?
All
now
right.
you said something about rigging.
Yes.
Right? Yes. It's not a new thing that they rig. Sometimes it's assumed that the elections are being rigged. Now, this is where the parts of them saying they go to court before swearing in. I mean, if you believe that the INEC result isn't accurate, you can go to court before swearing in. Obviously, they already know that sometimes the results are not genuine. But why they actually want INEC to always hand their database, their results to them, is so that if they go to court and they find INEC wanting, they find the fact that maybe INEC are the ones lying, they can hold them to it. They can be sanctioned for it. You understand? So that, yeah, because before now, let's assume that if INEC come out and tell us that PDP won 300 and something thousand votes, and maybe when they take them for court case and they come out and say we never said it was 300 and something, we said 200 and something. At that point, you cannot even hold INEC responsible.
No
exactly.
Okay.
So what the Senate are actually talking about is evidence, so that when the public needs that evidence, they can easily get the evidence.
All right. Thank you about that analysis, Ms. Chidema. Over to the next newspaper, The Vanguard. FG begins public finance reforms ahead of new tax regime in January. This will be seen in page 6. Nigeria won't accept any deportees from US. Toga insists. This will be seen in page 6. FG releases 32.9 billion naira PHCs. Asks communities to track spending. This will be seen in page 5. Northern leaders back Tinubu as opposition cautions APC alleges attack. This will be seen in page 6. Kanu lists Sanwo-Olu, Wike, Umai, Malami, others as witnesses in terrorism trials. This will be seen in page 8. ASU continues negotiation, suspends 2 weeks warning strike. This will be seen in page 9. Senate silent on early voting, shifts electoral burden of proof to INEC. This will be seen in page 3. All right, Ms. Chidema, on the big headline on this newspaper, where the federal government begins public finance reform ahead of the new tax regime in January. So what's your take about this now?
The new tax regime, the new tax reform, yes, obviously, the president and many other persons have been talking about it. But the problem I'm having with them is the awareness they are making about it. I mean, the only thing most persons know is that it is going to come with them having shortage in their money.
Okay.
We don't even know what our taxes will be paying for, will be used for. There are no awareness, no full awareness on this particular tax reform. I mean, it is hard time the president sent our delegates to give information about this, to actually, if they can break it down in different languages for people. You understand? So that they can understand that it's not only about your money being reduced, though this is what we are going to be using the money for. Even the educated ones are still yet to comprehend what these taxes are going to be used for. Talk more of the people that are not educated, people in the market. And now this tax reform you're talking about, if not well educated, if awareness are not given out properly, people will start withdrawing their money from the banks. Now, when it comes to the flow of cash, when it comes to the revenue, when it comes to everything that has to do with the balancing of the Nigerian the Nigerian capital and all capital, yes, and many other things that money is used for, it's not going to be balanced. I mean, if people withdraw their money, what we'll be having is pay, and it's almost like trade by barter, because now we'll be using cash, but we're not sending money to the bank, and there's no money withdrawn from our core taxes. There's our LAT. There's no money withdrawn from the data used to send you emails and all. Now the economy will be suffering. So, and secondly, if people start withdrawing their money and keeping it at home, we get prone to robbery, stealing, and sometimes some people might end up going to using the old times where you bury your money somewhere, and when you bury your money there and you forget exactly where you keep it, termites, and then cash flow. Nigeria will create and we will be making more currencies,
Yes,
but it is not going back. So I believe that just the same way the president has brought out this tax awareness, he should make sure that it is passed properly. People are aware about this particular thing, not just telling us, okay, by next year the tax reform will start, and nobody even knows what is happening. Business people are scared to actually even go and register their businesses, because I mean, if I have a business that gives me 10 million in a year, and then at the end of the year I'm going to give the government 2.5,
That's it.
and I've not even talked about the expenses I'm making. I've not even talked about the cost of my goods. And literally sometimes this money that they take is your profits. So people will be scared. Some businesses that is not aware will crumble, and then at the end of the day, poverty rates will actually go high. So what I would just say is that they should make awareness and reconsider the amount of percentage they want to be taking from the awareness, from the tax.
All right, Ms. Chidimma, about what you just said, you know, I quite agree with you on some of the things you just said about people no longer gonna be saving their monies in banks. They're gonna be having it in their homes, either by burying them in the ground and all that. And business is also suffering, because when you look at it, even without the tax reform now, most businesses are suffering.
Exactly.
Because with the price of things going up, imagine, let's say, okay, somebody who imports goods into Nigeria, you buy the goods abroad, custom duty, all what, not just to bring in the container into this country. And when you now sell it, you are supposed to give the government some particular amount because you have a business in this country.
I mean,
I'm not, like, you just see that this is just another way, like this will even increase the suffering of the citizens.
poverty rates will really go high.
That's it. All right, thank you about your analysis, Ms. Chidimma. And that's that to the newspaper review for today. You can be a part of this by putting down your opinion in the comment section. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our various social media channels. I remain your host, Achamazi Prosper, and thank you, Ms. Chidimma, for that well-calculated analysis.
You're welcome.
Bye.